Theme week time again at Random Review, and this week we're going to be looking at an often overlooked and forgotten period of Transformer history, the dark times of 1992, where the US had no new Transformers. But in other parts of the world, especially in Europe, they were continuing, and hey, they were getting molds we never got in any way, shape, or form. So this week, we're going to look at 3 of them from the Turbo Masters subline, and starting with this guy, Flash. Yes, it is a sports car in red with yellow accents, and they named him Flash. Apparently in 1992 in the UK, you really weren't concerned with plagiarism and copyright lawsuits and that kind of thing. But as you can see, he is very Lamborghini. He's very sideswipe in a very kind of little squished, more, kiddie car way. He kind of looks like if a Lamborghini was one of those quarter rides outside of a grocery store, except they don't have them outside of grocery stores anymore, so the reference is dated. As you can see, is a very vibrant shade of red, few yellow accents. Now, mine are all second-hand, so only factory applied stickers are going to be here, and in the case of Flash, that means only this eagle sticker in front, giving him a little bit of extra detail. And it's a very strange little eagle with very heavy lining around his wings and then a thin lined head. I'm not entirely sure what they're going for here, but it does look strange. One thing he is missing is there should be some yellow striping down the side and such, and there's a few in robot mode I'll point out too, just for completionist sake. But yeah, for the most part, you can definitely tell there's some major Lamborghini in him. And if it looks like he doesn't have any kind of windshields or anything, that's because the windshields are hot pink. And at some angles, especially in the light, you can't even see them, but they are there. You can actually see them in person. And unfortunately, it's not a good paint match either. The paint looks a little bit thin, so the effect is lost a little bit more. So, I don't know, maybe not the best job there. For the rest of it, there's a little bit of blue toward the rear. You can see spots for the tail lights and such. Some fins on the back and all this. Now, the big feature on Turbo Masters is this big turbo engine in the back, which of course currently has a suspicious looking yellow piece sticking out of it. Yep, missile launchers. And the interesting thing, aside from the fact that the handle, the peg hole, is actually hinged, so you can actually adjust the aim on it. That's neat. But you'll also note these are very thin missiles, and they are very short. This is the type of missile that's not allowed in the U.S. anymore because kids choke on them, apparently. But this also came from a period where they knew you would lose missiles that little, so they gave you 2 extra, which store on the sides and give him a bit more of a rocket boost look, which is kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and pull them off so we can prep for transformation. Just stop rolling. Stop. Thank you. Go over there. Alright, so that comes off. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3rd missile aside, just so we don't have any mishaps. It's a G1, so yep, it's a pretty simple transformation. I'm going to start by flipping out all of the legs. I'm going to flip them out to there because I need to get these arms out of the way. The arms probably could go first, but you actually can't really get a hold of them until you do that. So from there, we swing the entire body down. This is where it gets a little bit different than your standard G1. There's a double hinge on the inside here that allows you to swing everything to the outside like this. It's a little bit stiff because of the age. You'll note, yes, it's a translucent plastic hinge, but it's nice and heavy, and it's an older style of plastic that's a little bit sturdier. So it doesn't really concern me. So yeah, simple as that. That is what a European Transformer looks like in robot mode. This is Flash in the robot mode. And yeah, now he's looking less and less like the comic book character who shares his name. We've added a ton of blue to him and given him a very classic Autobot silhouette. There's a lot of familiar elements here, but some of it is done fairly differently. For starters, we close up of the head as usual. He's got translucent pink for the light piping, and looking kind of evil as a result. A lot of European Autobots, I find, do have translucent red eyes. or translucent pink eyes, because that was the good guy color for the eyes, but it does look like the old Decepticon red, doesn't it? He should have a yellow crest sticker there on the forehead, too, to give him a little bit of color. I'm really considering painting some of this detail on, because what are the odds I'm actually going to find stickers for a Euro-G1 toy? Speaking of which, he should also have some blue here on the belly, as well as some turquoise for the waist and the knees. But beyond that, this is pretty much what you get. Proportionally, he does have a very classic Autobot stance to him. The hood becomes a chest pointing forward, and the doors become the silhouette of wings like they would have on Prowl and Blue Streak, but of course, they are part of the arms here, so they also act as like these really wide shoulder guards. I kind of like wide shoulder guards on Transformers, so that kind of works out for me. Mold-wise, he does carry some molding to him, a little bit of tech detail, not a whole lot, since of course that's how things go. See a little bit of wiring, a little bit of these huge screws in there, nothing too spectacular, but yeah, G1. So you can tell even 92, they kind of kept to a more classic styling to these. They weren't trying to throw in gimmicks or anything like that. Well, outside of, gigantic missile launcher, which does look cool on its own, by the way. It does have kind of a turbine look to it on both sides, kind of a thruster rocket on the back, and some heavy, heavy engine molding all the way around. So they did try to do something different, at least. Articulation-wise on this guy, not a whole lot. The elbows bend forward, and that's pretty much all you get. Mine are very tight, so I have to be careful. Yeah, and it does go to a 90 degree, and that's about all you got. So, mount in his hand. It's a rather large, for how scrawny his arms are, it is a rather large-looking blaster. I think that's the one knock I really have against this guy as far as G1 style figures go, is the arms are extremely thin because of where they have to go in transformation. So besides that, though, I actually really like the form of this guy. Of all the Turbo Masters, especially, and like especially a lot of the old Euro G1s, this one has more of a classic appearance to it. Aside from just familiar traits, the overall form and function, it feels like this would have fit in with some of the earlier Transformer cast. The colors on this one also are not nearly as garish and eye-searing as some of the stuff that we probably won't see this week, but down the line, yeah, I've got more European toys to show you. So that is G1 Flash. Aside from having some vague similarities to a famous comic book character, he seems to take from a lot of little places, frankly. He's got a lot of familiar shapes. He's got a lot of features that you'd see on some of the original series Transformers. And he does a few things unique on his own. At the very least, the color palette is different, and strangely enough, I kind of like the pink windshields on him. It gives him this weird look to him, even if it might be lost on camera with all the lights blaring on him. So that's what a Turbo Master looks like, and I'm going to show you the other two that I grabbed later on in the week. So stick around. We got a little bit more from the UK as well as various other parts of the world. I know Japan and Canada got these too. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you guys.